And I am live. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. It's very much winter here in Quebec. It's a beautiful day, though, a beautiful spring day. Good day for cooking, people. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my YouTube live. Hello, I'm Richelle. I have a blog website called Feeding a Crowd, and I love food. So anyway, feeding a crowd. So it's feeding-a-crowd.com, because if you just put feeding a crowd, you'll end up with Jamie Oliver, which is awesome. Who doesn't like Jamie Oliver? So he does feeding a crowd stuff too. And I would love to ask you guys to subscribe to my newsletter on my website. Anywhere, everywhere, each page has a please subscribe to my newsletter. I send those out every Sunday. They're awesome. I talk about the recipes that went out, so you can't miss the recipes that went out. You'll see what we've done during the week. You'll see what's happened. You'll see what my thinking is about what's going on. So please, please, please go to my newsletter and subscribe. Thank you so much. That's the ad of the day. Also, I'm on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right here on YouTube. Yay. So there we go. I have to stop saying So every time I say I need to stop. Okay. Okay. Richelle, calm down. So here in Quebec, it's going to be sugaring off season, which is why I'm doing such a big deal about it. It's part of my life. It was part of my life since when the kids were young. We were always aware of it as kids ourselves, and we had an érablière, so a maple forest, if you want, which was never worked. When the kids were young, we decided to build a sugar shack. So when I say we, I mean my family, which means my brothers, their wives, and myself, and it got done. And we had a sugar shack for the longest time. We also had 2 wood-fired oven, and we had to learn to cook on those stoves. So they're the old-fashioned ones, like for real. You make a fire on one side and you cook, right? And the heat is supposed to go all across the 6 rings, or depending. And there's, an area where the water's supposed to heat, does not. Anyways, so we learned to cook on those. We learned to do the bread on their stoves. It was pretty amazing. So because this is such a big part of Quebec living, I have a pretty big affinity for it. I've cooked a lot of Sugar Shack meals by going through my Laura Sicard Canadian cookbook and going through the recipes and just, being curious mostly. So I'm so happy to say I now have a Sugar Shack page where all the recipes that are Sugar Shacky are on. And here in my text in the chat is the link to the new page, Sugar Shack page. It's also in French. So I have a Sugar Shack page in French and I have it in English because we are bilingual and we are Canadian. Shout out to being Canadian. Please, in these times, we are Canadian. So thank you. Welcome to Feeding a Crowd chat. I was just saying that I have a new page, it's my Sugar Shack page. So I have a whole page with all the Sugar Shack recipes on my website. Yep. It's called Sugar Shack Recipes and Traditions. It's right here. The link is in the chat. Also in the chat is a link to something even more fun, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. So yes, the Sugar Shack page is in French and is in English. The recipes are printable. Of course, as always, I have no ads on my page. I have no pop-ups on my pages. My website is meant to be like a recipe book. You open it, you browse, you read, you learn, and you interact. Hopefully you interact. I love people that interact. Please say hi so I know who's with me and how much fun we're going to have today, because I'm going to help you make supper tonight. Unless it's planned, then I'll help you make supper for tomorrow. Hi, Rafesh. Welcome to Feeding a Crowd. This is going to be fun. I'm excited about today. I have all kinds of new stuff happening. So before I talk to the more fun stuff, Like I like to have a small rant, and I'm sure you guys will agree. So, when you buy like a bag of clementines or a bag of onions, and it's in a bag, right? Or it's in a crate. The clementines are in a crate or in a bag. And then you come home and you start eating one, and they're awesome. I love clementines. But this is the season for them. Unfortunately, they come for the US. Will I buy some more? Maybe I'll buy apples. So you know how you buy bag of onions, and then you eat when the one that's not good or it's half dried. And then you're going to your onions and you take an onion and half of it is not good. And then it's all moldy and disgusting. So you throw it out. You grab another onion because that was disgusting. You wash your knife because it's got mold on it and you start over. And then the second one is about 2/3 good. So you throw out the other. Like, why are they selling us onions that are 3 years old? You know that they are. They've actually aged to 2 to 3 years old. That's why they're all moldy, because fresh onions don't mold like that. And why are they selling us clementines in which half of them aren't good, or half the clementines are half good? Do they think we're stupid? Do you think we say, yay, I paid $7 for a crate of clementines and I'm going to eat only half of them? I'm so happy I bought these clementines. Thank you so much. No, no, it pisses me off. And you can't really return them. You can't return a crate of half eaten clementines because they were dried. Anyone agree with me? Does this just happen to me? That you buy food and half of whatever you bought that's supposed to be awesome and fresh is moldy or dry. Why? Why don't they care? They say, oh, return it. You can't return a crate of half eaten clementines because half the clementine was dry. So basically, you pay for nothing. So that is what I'm thinking. Well, there. So we should boycott people. And you know what? This fall, my sister went to her father-in-law, and she said, and I look because I was at my daughter's, and she has a bowl of beautiful Spanish. So I run to the Spanish onions. I'm like, oh my God, they're nice and firm and fresh. Exactly, fresh. Yeah, I've not been lucky. And I'm like, oh my God, this reminds me of like real onions. And she said, yeah, the farmer next door, pulled in his harvest, and these are just like some that they're cut or whatever. So he gave them to my father-in-law. And I was almost like having an attack of joy. And so she gave me 5, 6 Spanish onions that were absolutely amazingly fresh. That's how they should sell the onions to us, not the onions that are 2 to 3 years old. They need to stop doing that. They just, and I don't even know who to talk to about this, that we want food that are not good in our bags. So there. Thank you. That is all done. So yeah. Guess who has been eating bad clementines? So yes, that and the Sugar Shack page. I hope you go and look at it. If you have questions, please comment, please talk to me, and yep, I said smack. I'm sure I do it. So the recipes last week that I posted on my blog are still Sugar Shack centric because there's so many of them. I made eggs in maple syrup, and that is quite, not many people do it because it takes a lot of maple syrup, and it's always a bit cringy that you're using so much maple syrup for eggs, except that it's absolutely delicious. You only do that at this time of the year. One of my tricks is do not use the most expensive maple syrup. You need to use amber or dark maple syrup to get that super duper flavor. The other thing you do is that once you're done cooking the eggs, the recipe is on the website. Use that maple syrup for pancakes or French toast, waffles. Just use it for something else so it doesn't go to waste. Frankly, I just eat it with a spoon because by the time the eggs are cooked, the maple syrup has condensed a bit, has evaporated a bit more, even though we added water to start with. But still, it's absolutely delicious. So yeah, so don't waste. Do make it once a year. The kids will love it. They'll remember it year to year. And or even I think Sugar Sacks aren't serving it because it's a bit of trouble. It's an egg poached in maple syrup, right? So it can be a bit of trouble. but really worth it. So that's one of the recipes that came out. And potatoes. When you go to the Sugar Shack, they serve boiled potatoes. Well, not in my home. I could not serve that if you paid me, and I was paid. I mean, I've worked at Sugar Shack places. I've made breakfast for Sugar Shacks. And the boiled potatoes, I never understood. So basically, when you bring boiled potatoes to a table, people just smush them down with their forks. And this is a Quebec thing. They add the butter, the salt, and the pepper. And basically, they're creating their own mashed potatoes. Makes no sense. So I created a recipe that is a delicious breakfast potato. And when I make the omelet, I always have extra fat, right? Because I use bacon fat to make the omelet. Well, actually, yeah, whenever I cook bacon, I keep the fat, especially because my bacon fat is seasoned from how I treat the bacon. There's a video for that on YouTube. So, and so what I did is that I parboiled the potatoes, cut in like smallish pieces. Then I sauteed them in the bacon fat. I mean, it was like fried. So parboiled potatoes, you finish them in the bacon fat. It's a treat. They become super crispy. They're very easy to make because it's parboiled. It does not take any time at all, as long as you make sure that your potatoes are super dried before you put them in the fat. So you really like make sure that they rest. Or once you drain them, you put them back in the pan and you put them on the ring back on the stove ring, the stove top where it's usually off, and you just boil off the steam or the water because you want the potatoes to be dried before you add them to the bacon fat. It makes delicious, fantastic potatoes. The recipe is on my new Sugar Shack recipes and tradition page because I did that this week because I finished the French page and then I did the English page. So there, don't forget, all these recipes are printable. I hope. If there's one that's missing, let me know. If ever you get on the page and you say, hey, this one is missing, let me know and I'll do it. Sometimes it happens, stuff happens. Working hard not to say okay? So this week I'm babysitting. I'm making baby food. And someone said, why don't you have a baby food page? I said, no, I'll leave that to the mommies. But I'm actually enjoying it because it's so much easier, you think, to make fun baby food. For instance, this morning I made pancakes for the baby. He's 9 months old. And I use spelt flour. I always have non-bleach flour. There's eggs. And oops, I said shit. Oops. There twice. And what I did was, so because there's spelt flour in there and there's buttermilk and eggs, I put in a banana and fresh blueberries. They end up being so you make them small and he just eats them. He absolutely enjoyed them, and so did I. I love spelt flour in a pancake. It just adds a nutty taste to it, and it's healthy and it's wonderful. But I'm going to leave baby food making to you guys, even though right now you should see the baby food I have in my fridge. Did not take me much time to do. It's just a question of making your own food, taking out what's for the baby and creating it slightly different. Just like I had the pancakes this morning. He sort of had his own batter. Mine had a little salt. His didn't. But basically, yeah, you sort of play around with that instead of adding to it is work. I mean, you do have to think about it, right? I made cream of wheat this morning for myself. I put some aside for him. I actually made it a bit thicker, and then I give him cubes of cream of wheat to eat. And then when he's not wanting to eat too much, I add the yogurt and avocado, smash it, and just feed the rest to him. He loves it. So food, you simplify your life, don't complicate your life. And then I'm looking at my list. So I'm super excited about this, guys. I have a store. So I'm always like scolding everyone that has plastic utensils, and and because I really think we should get rid of that and non-stick pans, right? Do have one non-stick pan. I don't use it a lot, but sometimes I do, and I don't even know why, because I don't need it. But so it was coming to me, and guys, what I did? I have a store. I have a store for us. It's called the Lucky Find Store. So basically, because I love going to thrift stores, I'm going to pick up kitchen tools. I'm going to pick up like dishware. I'm going to pick up utensils, wooden utensils, stainless steel utensils. I'm going to pick up really weird stuff sometimes, and I'm going to put it on my store. You guys get first dibs. So I'm going to tell you what I have on my store today, okay? And if you guys say I want that, guess what? You're the first one, it's yours. Yeah. So the first thing I have, look at this, is I got all this. And yes, the Angel Foods cake pan is for sale. So the first things I have are these. These are great spatulas. This is bamboo. We have one round, one square, and this great stirring spoon, $8. They're clean, they're oiled, they're ready to go. Okay. Next, I have these. I'm missing some. I need to find some. Okay, there we go. I have these. Look at these. I love this spoon. Look, it's short, but it's super wide when you're scooping in a mixing bowl. Isn't that a clever spoon? These are bamboo. And also with it is this cute Easter spatula. Like, I love that. These are super cute. This set, because, oh, I'm missing something. Oh, a meat tenderizer. This goes in here. These is $12. $12 for these. Thrift store find. Set, thrift store. It is a sushi. Yes, thank you. I have no idea. I just think it's cute. It's wonderful. I love how fat it is. I love that it's wide, and I love that it's thin here. So, got these. $12. This in here, we have a whole set of eating. We have like the fork, we have the knife, and there's a spoon, and there's salad utensils. Okay. Apparently, I put them up for free, but they're not. I'm going to sell this for $6. Bamboo utensils. I love this. Like, I love bamboo. And there's something about bamboo, you know, that there's self antibacteria. So I have pièces de résistance here. I have these. Great. This is a spaghetti, like a pasta scoop with a serving spoon. Stainless steel, 1810. This is a Henkel's set. This set with the spoon. Then you have the whisk and that $8. $8 for stainless steel utensils. Okay, on my website. I thought these are so awesome. I have them, and I have some, and I already use them. These are like Sunday spoons, so they're tall, right? They're great for coffees, ice cream sundaes, tall teas, and whatever desserts that you're serving in a tall glass. $8. They're stainless steel. They're really good quality. They're nice and heavy. And okay, these are silly, but my son thinks they're really awesome. Yeah, a corkscrew and a bottle cap set. I don't even know. I think it's absolutely silly. $5, because I don't know what to do with these. But they're a great gift idea for anyone of your family that. And don't forget, these are thrift store finds, so you're recycling, right? We're reusing stuff. Okay, these are hard to find. Did you know that these are langostina? Stainless steel. Okay, this is my favorite thing of all. Wait, I can't show it to you apparently. Okay, this one, because it's super thin here. So it means it's a really good to like slide under eggs, when you're using your iron skillet. Then this is the skimmer, the fork, and the ladle. Really super good quality. The price on these online, even used, blew my mind because it's langostina, of course. So not happening, because I got them at the thrift store for you. $20 for a set of 4. They're really great. I will ship. They're in the store. This. You say what? What? Who uses these? Actually, my one of my kids' favorite cakes is Angel Foods cake. In fact, I make them. There's a few for their birthday. That's what they get. I have been to a lot of pans because some of them aren't good. This one is good for a few reasons. This is super tight on the bottom, so the batter doesn't come out. Okay, and it's easy to slip out when the cake is ready. And you don't want non-stick when it's Angel Foods cake because it actually has to climb up, right? That batter. Also, whenever you make Angel Foods cake, once it's baked, you don't leave it like that because it's going to come back down. You do have to flip it, okay? And that's why you want these. Not all of the cakes have these. So basically, the cake holds on these and these. A lot of people used to like put a bottle of wine and put in a bottle of wine, okay? So it wouldn't. So the cake would stay. But we have these. This is a great find and $10. They're way more expensive than that. So, guys, I have a store where I'm going to have stuff coming out every day. I'm going to have pièces de résistance pieces coming out, I think, next Saturday. I found some Wedgwood dishes. They're really beautiful. It's hard for me not to keep them because I'm a blue and white person, and this Wedgwood is absolutely gorgeous. It sells for a fortune online. I am going to be selling them for not a fortune. So you'll see next week. We'll talk about those next week. I'm really excited about the store because, as you guys know, I'm trying to find a way to get this website to pay for itself at some point. So I think that bringing thrift store finds here that I can sell to my audience at a really good price will work. One way or the other, I love getting that stuff. So there you go. So I wish, so here you go. So what do you have in your fridge? Whatever you have, and I'll give you supper ideas. Come on, say hi, people, and tell me what you have in your fridge, and I'll help you make supper. Well, I won't make it, but I'll give you ideas, like super simple, fun, delicious ideas. So take a few minutes, and while you do that, I'm going to tell you about what I have. So I have leftover trout. I have leftover mashed potatoes. I have onions. Hopefully, half of the onions are good. What else do I have? I have lettuce. I could always make a salad because salads are good, even though my cucumbers weren't good. I hate it when my food does not stay good. And what would I do with that? Come on, while I'm thinking about what I'm going to make for supper, you guys tell me what you have in your fridge and what I can make for you. Oh, you know what I think I'm going to make? So I'm going to take my leftover mashed potatoes. I'm going to fry the onions. I'm going to put them in the bowl of mashed potatoes, flake out the trout, and make fish cakes and fry them and make fish cakes. I'm going to add other stuff to it. I'm probably going to add capers. I'm probably going to add like onion powder and garlic powder. And I'm going to make us fish cakes, trout fish cakes, because I have the mashed potatoes already and I have the fish. And all I need to do is add the flavor. Serve that with a salad. And then I'm not losing the leftovers. So, any ideas, people? Please, welcome to my chat. Today I talked about my new store. It's called Lucky Find Store, and the fact that I have a page all about Sugar Shack recipes, which I know most of us don't have. Ooh, you know what I would make? Anytime I have leftover cooked meat, that's not fish, I make a fricassee. I find fricassees are the best way to clean out your fridge. And if you have ketchup, the kids will eat it. Like you just, my mom used to make it with peas. I did not really like peas except the frozen ones, but my mom didn't use, she used canned peas. I hated that. Fricassees are the best way to serve. And there was no one in my family, the kids, like when I would tell them like I was making fricassee, everyone would groan. However, whenever that bowl of fricassee came out, there was never enough. There was, no matter how much I made, there was never ever enough. Fricassee will make your meat, like this much meat, make a big meal. So basically, you parboil your potatoes, and then you just add a lot of flavor and you fry everything in a pan. or in a big, I don't know, explain it, but in a big skillet. But you got to add the flavoring. And it doesn't even look that great on a plate. I usually put frozen corn. I make sure that if I have leftover cucumbers, not cucumbers, peppers, if I have leftover anything, I've put leftover cabbage in there. Delicious. I've leeks, onions, frozen whatever you have. Just put it in there. Fricassee is the best way to get to use your leftover lamb chops. And I'm telling you, it's going to be delicious. Just add the flavor. So, anyone else wants supper ideas with their food? What else would I make with leftover lamb? Oh, you could always make a lamb pie. You know, like you have chicken pot pie. You could always make a lamb pie, like a lamb pot pie. Just saying, because that's always delicious too. Yep. Because you know, when you make a pot pie, the chicken's already cooked, so it's okay if your lamb's already cooked. And that's what else do I have in my fridge? And you know what are my go-to desserts when I'm like panicky and I have people over? No, I don't have a fricassee blog. You know why I don't have a fricassee? Because to me it's leftover food. But what I could do, of course, is create a fricassee option, you know, like with the meat. My mom was always with hamburger meat, and to me that's no. I've never put hamburger meat in my fricassee. I do not like the texture. Of the, you know, so I've always used beef, pork, lamb, and chicken, you know? Yeah. Most people make it with, yeah, exactly, a fricassee template. Because fricassee to me is the word, I don't even know where it comes from, but to me it's the word for leftover food put together. You know, it's like a paella or a gumbo or a jambalaya. You know, these food were created with you cook what you have and put the you know, the cultural flavors in, right? So to me, that's what fricassee is. So welcome, people. I was just saying, tell me what's in your fridge, and I'll give you supper ideas for a crowd. Yep. So what else do you put in? Like I said, a fricassee, you can put absolutely anything. You just gotta think like what goes good together. And even if it looks weird, if you put enough of, you know, like smoked paprika and powdered onion and garlic and you know, herbs, dried herbs, it's gonna end up delicious. So hello, please like. YouTube loves it when you guys like me. And yeah, go find my store. There's a link there for, I have a new store, Lucky Find Store. You'll see all kinds of fun stuff to sell. I do I mean, I will ship. The cost is going to be there. You know, if it's to the States. In Canada, it's going to be less, maybe. If it's by the post office, I mean, mail, yeah, Post Canada. Don't know how long it's going to take. You need help? You need help with the food? I'll make supper. Just give me a few of your ingredients, because you know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to pack up the baby and go for a walk because it feels like spring and it smells like Sugar Shack season, right? Yes. So I don't want to have dead air here. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I don't know what recipe I'm going to be blogging about this week. I have the baby all week. He's 9 months old. Such a cutie pie. He sleeps all night. Like, this is amazing. I'm getting to spend so much time with my grandson and I love it. So I'm going to be working on recipes that I'm bringing back. And if I think of anything new, I will work on it, you know, during his nap time. That and cleaning up the mess. Yep, because babies make messes. So yeah, so I'm not sure. Usually I talk about what recipes are coming up, but I don't know. I know one's coming out tonight. It's pudding shomar, poor man's pudding, guys. I love poor man's pudding. My kid's favorite dessert, among others, because I only made it once a week, was poor man's pudding. It's so easy to make, and it's not poor man's pudding for nothing. It takes nothing to make. It's a pantry stable dessert, and it's here. That's the third link in there. You want to make an easy dessert that everyone's going to rage about? Poor man's pudding is it. If you're Quebec, your mom probably made it when you were young. They sell them even here at Vikings, at the butcher. So poor man's pudding is a thing. Make it. People love it. It's a crowd pleaser. It's so easy to double and triple because it's just double and triple. So thank you for showing up today. I'm going to, oh, the fricassee template, Flesh. I think maybe I'll work on that this week. Maybe I won't have as much this week, for next Sunday to talk about recipe wise. Maybe a lot of baby food recipes, who knows, or tips and tricks of having babies, because I'm remembering everything when my babies were babies and having a lot of fun with it. And then I'll see you next week. Oh, guys, also, I'm having a French live direct on Wednesday at 5:30, but I am having a Facebook live in English on Tuesday at 2. This is for the mothers that put their kids down for a nap and have time to come up. And I'm probably going to have the similar conversation I had today because it works well. And I haven't done it on Facebook yet. So Facebook Live at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, French Facebook Live on Wednesday, 5:30. And I'll see how that goes. And then I'll probably choose which one works best. All right? Have a wonderful week. Text me, call me, like my recipes, interact with me, please. And see you soon. Please subscribe to my newsletter. This is going to be funny, okay? Don't scold me. I don't know it's my computer, it won't work. It did work. Okay, so the kid's favorite. Okay, so there you go. Okay, there you go. To you guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.